If I were to start over in Infinity Nikki today, I would do a lot of things differently. So I thought I'd make this video going over everything that I would change if I were to start a new account. If you're a new player just jumping into the game, you can avoid the mistakes that I made. And if you've been playing for a while, let me know what you would change. I am very excited to announce that this is my first sponsored video on my channel. So before we get into the tips, let's hear about that sponsor. Let's talk about this video sponsor, Disney Dreamlight Valley. Disney Dreamlight Valley is a life simulation adventure game where you can build friendships with beloved Disney and Pixar characters, all while creating your very own dream village. I love decorating in cozy games. It's one of my favorite things to do to relax. And with so many cute decorations inspired by Disney and Pixar films, I've spent hours and hours creating unique areas for my favorite characters. Like this cherry blossom themed yard for Mulan and Mushu, or this outdoor area next to Tiana's palace, or even this neighborhood for Mickey and his friends. And in Disney Dreamlight Valley, there are so many options for how to spend your time, from farming and fishing to questing and creating cute outfits. And every update adds new characters from your favorite Disney and Pixar franchises, each with their own stories to explore. Disney Dreamlight Valley is on sale now in most digital storefronts, and you can use the link in the description to grab it for yourself. Thank you Gameloft for sponsoring this video, and thank you for using the link to check out Disney Dreamlight Valley. Now let's get back to the video. The very first thing that I would do differently is focus on the main quest for a while before I get distracted by the open world. I would definitely stick to the main story until I got the animal grooming, bug catching, and fishing outfits, because then I would be able to use them as I explored. There are also a couple of very important side quests that I put off for a while, but you don't want to skip them because they unlock some major features. The first is New Guidance Realm of Escalation. You'll get this quest from Tokar at a certain point in the main story. Completing this quest will unlock the realms where you spend vital energy, which is a very important resource that you'll want to start collecting as soon as possible. The second quest is Purify Scent in the Cavern, which you can pick up from Aramida, who can be found sweeping the road here. This quest will unlock whim fragrances, which are items that can be equipped to upgrade your purification ability. I didn't know these existed for the longest time, but they can really help when you're fighting Esslings. So now that those important quests are out of the way and you're back to exploring, something I would do differently is pick up everything I come across in the open world, especially whimstars and Dews of Inspiration. When I first got into the game, I would ignore Momo telling me a whimstar was nearby because I was rushing to the next quest and couldn't be bothered, but now I'm low on whimstars and I need them to finish upgrading my Heart of Infinity, and I wish I had gotten them earlier. For some reason, I also ignored Dews of Inspiration unless they were right in front of my face, and it is such a pain to go back for them now. With the interactive map that syncs with your in-game data, it is easier to find the ones that you missed out on, but I think it's so much easier if you just get them as you come across them. Besides picking things up as you go about the game normally, there are some things I would prioritize collecting every day because they are more limited and I find myself running low on them. First, there are obviously the 3 legendary creatures that you can only collect from once per day: the Bulkhead in Breezy Meadows, the Astral Swan in the Abandoned District, and the Dawn Fox in the Wishing Woods. There are also a few non-legendary limited creatures: the Bibcoon in Flora Wish, the Swans by the Swan Gazebo in Breezy Meadow, and the Tolltail in the Astral Fishing Grounds in the Abandoned District. Some other rare materials that I wish I had spent more time collecting in the past are the Sockos, the Crown Fluff, and the Solar and Lunar Fruit. So if you're looking for something to do, it's great to grab these so you have them when you need them for a clothing sketch. Next, I wish I had used my vital energy more strategically. When you're first starting out, I would spend all your vital energy in the realm of nourishment getting insight. This is super important because there's an item called Essence, which you get when collecting, grooming, and fishing, but you'll only earn it if you've leveled up your abilities in the Heart of Infinity, and you'll need insight to do that. It's pretty boring to exchange your vital energy for insight, but you'll be glad you did later on because you won't be able to craft the miracle outfit until you've leveled up your abilities and can collect essence. What I wish I hadn't done was spend my vital energy in the realm of escalation and the realm of Eureka. Now, of course you can play however you want, but I know some people I've talked to spent all their vital energy in the realm of escalation getting bling to dump in the Scam-O-Matic, and then had to wait days and days to continue the main story because they needed insight and boldy crystals for the first miracle outfit. And for the realm of Eureka, you won't really know which ones you need until you start doing the styling challenges and they get progressively more difficult. And if you want to know more about that, you can watch my video about how to get a perfect score in the styling challenges, because I go into a lot more detail about the Eurekas, but I wouldn't randomly spend your vital energy in the realm of Eureka until you really know what you need. Let's talk a little bit more about how to not waste your resources and some of the mistakes I made early on. First of all, when it comes to pulling on banners, I would advise to be very picky, and I can already look back and see some mistakes I made where I wish I had saved my diamonds and my crystals. First, I would wait until the end of the patch to pull, because it's towards the end of the patch that they normally announce what the next banners will be. Then you can decide which banners you like more and which you think are worth spending your diamonds on. Next, the way that I would decide if I'm going to spend on the banner at all is if I like more than half the pieces and if I can see myself styling them in different outfits on a regular basis. While some outfits I think are really gorgeous and really fun, I can't really see myself using the individual pieces, so I would definitely look at the details panel and at each individual piece, maybe watch some videos of other people styling the pieces or using them in game, and then decide if I want to pull on it. If you only want one certain piece, I would budget for the entire outfit and ask yourself if you would be comfortable spending all of those pulls on the full outfit, assuming you got that piece last. With the 5-star banners, you can use Ocean's Blessing to guarantee that you'll get the one piece you want the most within 5-star drops, which equates to 100 pulls or 1,200 diamonds. So if that's the only piece you want, ask yourself if you would be willing to spend that many diamonds on it. I made the mistake early on pulling on the Monroe banner because I really wanted the boa, but I stopped before I got it because I felt like I was spending too many pulls, and now I have a semi-completed outfit that I never wear. I also pulled on most of the crane floating outfit, and because I stopped early, I can't use the ability, and I also don't really like the individual pieces because they're really not my style. So if an outfit has an ability, remember that you need the entire thing to use that ability, so anticipate that you're going to need the max number of pulls. Obviously, it's possible that you could pull things early and have, really good luck, but when it comes to gacha games, I find it's a bit dangerous to rely on luck or think that I'm going to get something early, and I just anticipate that I'm going to be getting max pity, the max number of pulls it will take to earn that outfit. That way I'm a little bit less disappointed, and any earlies are just a bonus. There are a couple other tips I have for saving diamonds that I wish I knew much earlier. First, there's a special part of the store called Resonance where you can use Tranquility droplets to get free pulls, and this store resets every month, so make sure you go check it every single month and don't miss out on your free pulls. If you've ever run out of diamonds while you're pulling, you'll know that if you click on the Resonate button, it will ask if you want to convert Stellarite into diamonds in order to pull. Now, before you do that, check the store to see if you have any of these packs available. Just like when you're pulling, they give you a 1-to-1 conversion of Stellarite to diamonds, but they also give you some bonus materials. If I were to buy Shimmering Pack level 15, because I've already bought the 15 packs before it, I would convert 980 Stellarite into 980 diamonds, but I would also get 5 permanent banner crystals and 50,000 bling. So that's a much better deal than me just straight up converting as I'm going to pull. So check this before you do that. Now, speaking of spending, something that I wish I had done differently is wait until I reach level 30 of the mirror journey before I buy the upgraded pass. I've done it almost every month, but there was one month when I bought the battle pass and I didn't finish it. And for me, it's really only worthwhile if I reach a certain level. But what I do now that I didn't do before is waiting until I've completed the number of levels that would make it worthwhile to me, and then buying the Distant Anthem or Miracle Epic Pass, because you can buy that at any point and still get all of the rewards. For instance, if you really want the Momo cloak that's on the battle pass, you could wait until you've reached level 30, which is when the cloak unlocks, to make sure that you were able to log into the game and get enough experience points to reach that level. Maybe something will come up during the month and you don't have as much time to play, and you won't be kicking yourself for spending money on something that you didn't get to use. Something I didn't understand in the beginning of the game was how the outfit evolutions work, and I didn't realize that the material that you use to evolve outfits is pretty limited and you can only earn a little bit of it per week, and not until you reach pretty late into the storyline. When the game starts out, it gives you some of those calm thoughts which you use to evolve outfits, and because I didn't know they were limited, I randomly picked an outfit to evolve, and then I had to wait weeks until I was able to evolve another one, and I didn't really like the evolution that much. Once I did have the Realm of Breakthrough unlocked, where you get heartfelt thoughts and calm thoughts, for some reason I didn't do it every week, so I've missed out on opportunities to get that very rare resource. Something I definitely do now that I didn't do before is make sure I clear the Realm of Breakthrough every week. One big mechanic of Infinity Nikki is glowing up outfits to get higher points in styling battles. And when I first started, I didn't really understand how this worked, so I was just glowing up things willy-nilly as soon as they introduced this system. Like I said, I have an entire video on how to get perfect scores in the styling challenges where I go into a bit more detail, so you can watch that after this. But just know that it's only worth glowing up outfits if you have all of the pieces. And in the glow up menu, you should be sorting by glow up score to see what will give you the most points. But something I always do now that I know more about how it works is I glow up accessories first and shoes last, because that will give you your highest value points for the least amount of bubbles and bling. And speaking of bling, this is also something that I wish I had been a bit more selective about, and I didn't realize I was spending a ton of bling until I completely ran out of it. First is leveling up Eureka's. When you level up Eureka's to level 10, they get a different color and they have max number of points, which you can use in styling battles. Now, it is fun to see which color you're going to get, and despite the number of Eurekas I've leveled up, I only have one iridescent Eureka, so it is very rare to get. But what I didn't realize is I was spending so much bling leveling up these Eureka, and I wish I hadn't leveled that many up, because you only need one of each piece in each set to do well in those styling challenges. The other thing I didn't realize is how much it really costs to pull on the Bling-O-Matic. That's that free gacha that only costs bling, but every 10 pull is 250,000 bling. And before I knew it, I had spent through almost 2 million bling on this thing, and the pull rates for the 5-star pieces are super rare. So I'm definitely not going to be pulling out that again until there's nothing else that I need to spend my bling on. So that's everything that I do differently now that I wish I had known about when I first started Infinity Nikki. Let me know if you learned something from this video or if you have any tips for me. Thanks again to Gameloft for sponsoring this video. You can check out Disney Dreamlight Valley in the link in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.